Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Knowing Your Network. And this is the on the road edition. Don't worry, I am not driving. I actually have a tripod hooked right to my steering wheel right now. And I'm here with the awesome Tony Liu. Uh, and what I liked about him is I watched some of his videos and I did some research on him before I asked him to come on. And it was that he can make really boring things exciting. So I was looking forward to chatting with him because he was leading this thing that should have, by all intents and purposes, been the most boring thing you've ever heard, and everybody was laughing, right? So he does a couple of things. He helps connect insurtech startups, carriers, and brokers and investors. See, you're falling asleep already. and enablers in the New York region through hosting insurtech community events and startup competitions. And he has an accelerator, which is really awesome. And you should watch the videos about that. If you're into insurtech, he's your guy. He also leads Cosolo, which is a virtual peer coaching and accountability community for small consulting firm owners who are eager to make progress in building their business, which is right along with and lined up with the core values, vision, and mission of RedSapiens, and our vision is to have a world where all entrepreneurs can thrive. And this kind of peer coaching group allows for things like that. So with that said, I'm gonna let Tony have at it and talk to us. So go for it, man.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for coming on the show, man.
No, thank you, Joe, for having me. And yeah, glad to be here. Very excited to share a bit about myself and one of the business co-solo that I've been leading. So co-solo, as Joe might have just alluded to earlier, is a community for small consulting firm owners. And really, the problem that we're trying to solve with this community is the following. So I'm an independent consultant myself, and I met a lot of small consulting firm owners. They could be boutique consulting firm owners and independent consultants. And I talked to a lot of them, and they all kind of shared four common challenges. And they are, first, lead gen. Finding your next client is a problem for everyone, right? And then, but then that's sort of like, okay, I get it. Everybody has that problem. All business do. But then the other ones were not as evident until I talked to them. And they are, the second one is that they kind of missed having coworkers and having thought partners that they could exchange ideas with and get feedback from. Because a lot of these,
it's lonely.
Yeah, it's a lonely journey, right? And most consultants used to belong to a big organization, whether it's a big consulting company or corporations, where you had coworkers, you can chit chat, and ask for feedback. You don't have that anymore. You're alone now, and so you miss that community. The third thing they also kind of shared that was a challenge is they actually missed having a boss. Can you believe that? That's one of the reasons we are no longer working for a company, because we don't want to have a boss. We want to be our own boss. But there's a side effect to it, which is, the boss is actually held you accountable. There's a performance management process, and you did what you got to do, even if you didn't want to do them, because you wanted to please your boss, and they held you accountable. And so you missed that as well. And then finally, a lot of, especially the beginners and the consultants who are in the beginning part of their journey, even the mid kind of career guys in consulting as well, a lot of them didn't really know how to build a consulting business. They were contracting, freelancing, but they didn't realize that they could actually make that into a thriving business. So there's a bit of lack of knowledge on that sense. And so what I did is what can I do to actually help solve these problems for me personally, as well as the people I was meeting with. And there's two kind of concepts that I've been familiar with the past, which is Scrum, which is a methodology used in the software development space. And basically they meet every day and then hold each other accountable. Like, what did you do yesterday? What are you doing that tomorrow? And what are the challenges you have? And then I combined that with the mastermind group, concept where I think it started among the digital marketers. They meet monthly basis and then provide mentor coaching. And so I combined that and made that into a weekly meeting. And
Nice.
now the consultants would actually have a team. So they belong to a team of 4 or 5 consultants. They meet on a weekly basis and go through what you go through in a Scrum meeting, as well as a mastermind group, holding each other accountable, and then doing some peer coaching. And so that's the concept. And then we launched it earlier last year with a pilot. A lot of consultants who joined the community really liked it. And so, we made it, did a formal launch, and we've been running it ever since. And we have about 40 plus members at the moment who participate in this community.
That is really, really awesome. So if you're a solo consultant out there, this is a place to be. Good.
Great.
So tell us a little bit more about the people you work with, who you're working with.
Yeah, so consultants who join our community are B2B consultants. So they could be technology consultants providing technology solutions to businesses, or it could be marketers, could be HR consultants, and so those are the types of consultants we have, wearing the different industries. So there are consultants who help insurance industry, which is the industry I like, but then there's financial industries, technology industries, all kind of industries. We do require that the members have had at least a few clients before joining our community, mainly because if you're in the very beginning stages and you're even thinking about being a consultant, we don't think you're going to be able to leverage what we provide that effectively, efficiently. And this is a peer network, so we want someone who can actually provide some value to other consultants.
Yeah. Good. And can you give us an example of somebody who's been in the network for a while and the types of success that they're having?
Yeah. I mean, there's a number of different stories. So we had a consultant who joined. He had a few clients, but and this is pretty common. She was having an imposter syndrome. She's like, "Am I good enough to actually provide advice to clients?" And she's a very experienced, professional, has been in the industry like 15, 20 years, right? And I personally know that she can do it, but like you have doubts because you're going out and trying to sell yourself and it doesn't work out. It works out, but you fail more than you succeed, right? So
yes,
you start having these imposter syndromes, like, am I good enough? And funny enough, she started having opened up about this to the team, and then she observed other consultants, and what she realized was she was actually pretty good compared to the other consultants. Every consultant that you think are like perfect are not perfect. They all have issues. They all have challenges, right? And they all fail more than they succeed. Yeah,
all the time.
It gave her super like huge confidence that she's actually like on par with these other like really super successful consultants, and really that made her like continue push herself to build her business, and she's now doing really well. That was just one story. There's many other stories where actually people partner up and they become like boutique. They actually formed a boutique consulting firm now.
Nice.
So I can go on and on, but there's definitely a lot of interesting stories there.
Awesome. Okay, good. So now we have an idea of what you do, who you work with. So if you're out there and you've identified yourself as somebody who reach out to Tony, please make sure after you watch this video to connect with him on LinkedIn. Now, what are you curious about, man?
What am I curious about? Wow, that's an interesting question. I'm curious about everything.
That's good. That's good. What's got your fancy though right now? Because I know I'm a curious guy too.
Yeah.
But I know every once in a while, like, I'll get like one of the things that I'm curious about now is fasting. So I've been doing like these longer fasts, and I'm like, when I get curious about something, I start experimenting. So what are you experimenting with right now?
Right now, I mean, it's something that actually popped in my head while having discussions with one of my community members, and it's the concept of acting. So I've been interested in improv for many years, maybe over 10 years. I just had an interest. I mean, I haven't really done much, but not took a couple classes here and there, but never went through the whole program. And I'm in New York, and there's tons of great improv schools in New York.
Yes.
And I wanted to just, try, but I just, I don't know. It's time, whatever. I just haven't done it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you ready for this?
Okay,
One
go
of my
ahead.
clients, one
Yeah.
of my clients actually runs a improv coaching company. So I'm gonna like
Ah,
hook you guys up.
yes, please. I'm really interested in doing it. I think it's a super, like, I'm doing it because I'm somewhat curious, but I think there's a business kind of benefit to doing
Absolutely.
improv,
I've done a few of
right?
her classes, and it's
Yeah,
mind blowing what you come out with
yeah,
every time. It's so awesome. So that's a good thing to be curious about.
yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, you're able to think on your feet and like be able to express yourself. All of these are great skills to have in any kind of business setting. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm just kind of curious myself, just personally. But I think there's hopefully I'll get a lot out of it. Yeah.
All right, good. I think you will. You're gonna like her. Her name is Shakotha Fields. So
All right.
I'll
Awesome.
connect you guys. Good. And finally, how do they get a hold of you? What are the things that they need to do if they want to talk to you, man?
Yeah, I mean, just find me on LinkedIn. I don't think there are many Tony Lu's out there, even though it's a simple name. So find me on LinkedIn, or you can email me, tony@cosolo.co, is COSOLO, like co as in together, solo, dot co, not com. Okay, that's you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that's where they can reach out to you. And we're going to put all your contact information. It'll be at the bottom somewhere where
Okay,
this video is. So we'll have
sure.
that stuff there and your LinkedIn profile. I thank you and I honor you, man. This has been really awesome. Thank you for being with us today.
No, thank you so much. I had a lot of time, a lot of fun as well. Thank you.
All right. Cool.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.